Howdy. Hey, what's up? There's this strange design thing called the well, I say it's called as if like I'm not the one who made it up just now. But I have this design quirk that I call the moonlord issue, right? The moonlord paradox. If you couldn't tell, this is named after the moonlord from Terraria. So the moonlord is a very strange thing, right? It appears at the very end of the game, and yet it is the blocker behind some of the coolest gear you can imagine. Like everything that is worth getting. I say worth getting as if the rest of the shit isn't worth getting, but like the coolest shit, the coolest items are locked behind the Moonlord. And yet, he's the final boss. Like there's nothing to kill with the cool shit that you get to unlock after the Moonlord. And it's like, I don't know, man. Feels wrong, you know? I've been thinking about um I've been thinking about this issue for a while, and like if it's okay for things to be like that. It's kind of like Netherite. Well, actually, Netherite is a different issue. Netherite doesn't have the issue at all, in fact. Netherite gets to sit in the unique place of being an item that you can get before even fighting the Ender Dragon if you really wanted to. Meaning you have all this content, and all this content, I mean like 1/8 of the game left, to use all your cool enchanted Netherite gear on. That's not the case in Terraria. Terraria has always had like a very strange relationship in terms of Minecraft. Like even when it first came out, everyone called it 2D Minecraft. But it evolved, right? It evolved way past that. And it was super cool the way it did. And now it seems to be in the position where everyone wants to make Minecraft into Terraria. There's mods and data packs coming out for it. Every design video I've seen over the past like, I don't know, how many days have I been looking? I've been looking for a while. Oh, buddy, I missed my fucking turn. Where am I going? Stockton? Well, everyone wants to make Minecraft into Terraria, and I think by everyone I mean the extrinsically motivated players, right? Intrinsically motivated players have been eating good for like many updates now, but I feel that it's a bit wrong to take Terraria and just run with it as if this is going to be able to fix all your issues. Like this is the cure to your ails. Minecraft is not Terraria naturally, but even more importantly, Terraria has the opposite problem of Minecraft. It's extrinsically motivated to a T. Oh, I almost missed my fucking exit again. I'm so bad at navigating. Oh my god. Like if you had to have a guess, is this too tight? Yeah, it might be too tight. I don't know. Oh no, it's okay. We're okay. 25. Okay, we can do that. No problem. I'm on controller, by the way, so this is tough. And by tough, I mean I'm just bad at the game. Anyway, everyone wants to make Minecraft into Terraria, and I think that Terraria is a completely different game. Like the issue that we have with both Minecraft and Terraria is that Minecraft needs some extrinsic motivation, yeah, absolutely, but it doesn't want to become the opposite problem. The entire point is that we're trying to intertwine these things, right? The intrinsic and the extrinsic need to come together. That's the entire point. That's the entire hoopla. I am going to Stockton, right? Let's just get over. I don't want to pull up the map because I feel like a chump. Even though I already missed like 2 of these fucking things, I do indeed feel like a chump. But there are lessons you can take from Terraria naturally. I'm just not a fan of recreating it. Terraria's design issues are its own, and the Moonlord problem is not something I'm too keen on seeing again. So rather than like making another tier that comes after the end city or another dimension, I think that Minecraft could use some lateral moving. But you know, I'm not really convinced on that. I can be persuaded off that point. It's a question I've asked with my I've asked my friends a lot, right? Like, okay, what's more beneficial to the game exactly? Do we want Minecraft to have something after the end? Like we want to fix the Moonlord problem in quotation marks, or do we need to slow down? Do we need to add more lateral progression, which means more ways, more things to do while you're in each tier? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter option. The Moonlord problem, as I've explained it, is like there's a lot of problems that get fixed if you just expand or change rather when you have access to certain mechanics in Minecraft. Enchanting, for example, is something you get relatively early on if you want to, but you don't really get to capitalize on it until you get to the Nether, and even more so when you get to the end. Everyone wants experience, so they mine a bunch of quartz because that's the best way to get experience. Or you get a hoe and you go to the Deep Dark now, which is the current meta, I think. I can't remember. But the point is that you enchant because it feels like you need mending, right? Like you need these things. Half the enchanting problem in the first place is that you feel the need to get mending. You feel the need to get unbreaking efficiency because you don't want to deal with the fucking mechanic where an anvil requires you to use, yo, police, can you move on, brother? There we go. Pass by, man. You don't want to end up in a situation where you have to go to your anvil and you have to use infinitely escalating amounts of experience to repair the same gear. If anything, you should be more experienced in repairing, and so it should cost less. I'm on the fucking road, Jesus Christ. I was not paying attention. But it doesn't. And so the problem becomes more exacerbated. I need to adjust the dead zone on my controller. You know what it is? It's the dead zone. Because I can't just slowly move my stick and have it be responsive. I wonder sometimes if, like, how many of Minecraft's problems would be fixed if we were able to do that? Like, is it a bad idea? Is it a bad idea to turn off these mechanics that drastically nerf other mechanics? Like, the entire purpose behind Mojang doing that shit with the anvil is because they know that enchanting is overpowered. Overpowered in quotations. I think it's, like, normal progression, but okay. I think we should, like, strengthen that instead of, do not block my minimap. I don't have a minimap in this car. Okay, I freaked out. I didn't know if that was my exit or not. I was not looking. That stupid fucking notification. Yeah, man, I don't know. When I say slow down getting to the end, I don't necessarily mean you slow down as in, like, you have to forcefully slow the player down. That's another weakness I saw in some of these critique videos I've been looking at recently. One guy was like, we should force players to do or to beat the Ender Dragon before they can access XYZ content. I'm like, whoa. Like, that, not only does that break one of the tenets of Minecraft, but like it goes inherently against the spirit of the game. You don't even need to like read the design docs for that. Design docs, quotation marks. They're not design docs. You don't need to read the design docs to know that forcing players down a route is always a bad idea. Something I say a lot is incentives beat out punishments. If you want the player to do something, then punishing them for doing it is probably the worst way to go about it. And Mojang, they break this problem as well, right? They break that. The anvil problem is part of that. The fact that enchantments are completely random, like not at all deterministic by anything, that's also strange. Like, how much would it fit Minecraft's spirit if... Alright, bro. This guy's having issues with this car. We're moving. What's good? Are you okay? Jesus Christ. What was I saying? I'm just going to stay in this lane for a while, alright? This isn't my lane, I'm not supposed to be in this lane, but whatever, dude. Like, is it a bad thing? Is ultimately what I'm trying to get at. In a game like Minecraft, you'd expect to be able to do something like, arrange the bookshelves in a certain way, and that would encourage certain enchantments to come out, maybe. Or perhaps you feed the enchanting table something other than fucking lapis. Like, maybe you give a certain dye. Or maybe you need a certain type of book. Or maybe the bookshelves have to be a particular type of wood. Hey, buddy, I'm getting over. But none of these things come out to be, none of these things happened. Instead, enchanting and forging and all this, they turn to very static systems. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I can come up with, like, a perfect solution to that. That's one of the things I'm kind of worried about. Like, to encourage means that you necessarily have to dangle power in front of the player. Not in front of the intrinsic motivated players, but like the extrinsic ones, yeah, absolutely. They need power. That's how they're motivated. That kind of sucks. All right, let's slow down. One of the keys I'm looking for in my my magical key ring is a tool that lets me motivate players without using power. I did not see him. He was in my blind spot. I could have died. Well, he would have died, but still, you get my point. It's crazy. What do extrinsic players desire besides challenge and power? That's kind of what makes it extrinsic, right? Well, not necessarily. I mean, look at Stardew Valley. That's one of the most extrinsic games I've ever seen in my fucking life, but it doesn't feel like it, does it? Like getting down to the bottom of the fucking mine shafts? I was not looking at the road. I was scared about my blind spot. Oh, God. Hey, but they ain't catch me, so that's what's important. Stardew Valley, besides getting down to the bottom of the mine shaft, you also want to make money. You want to make a lot of money. You want to have a lot of resources. You want to get married. You want to have children. They're milestones, right? And that's the extrinsic motivation that Stardew Valley uses, milestones. Terraria, do they use milestones? I don't think so. I think it's just, like, power. I want this weapon. To get this weapon, I must kill these things. I desire the power of that weapon. I desire the functionality of that weapon. I desire, ooh, functionality. I didn't think about that. Like, if the extrinsic motivation is something that is like super necessary for your day-to-day operations in Minecraft, like a grappling hook, for example, or a tool that lets you build bridges across chasms, like these are extrinsic things that you can only get by hitting certain milestones. That might not be bad. Might not be a bad thing. I do wonder about that. Something else that's kind of like cracked in Minecraft that people have been trying to fix, including Mojang, is trading, right? Mojang decided to do this thing that Terraria did, where you put villagers in certain biomes in order to get certain traits from them. So it's deterministic trading. I'm certain it works, but one of the tenets in the Minecraft principle book, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is it's not fun to search. It is fun to find. Well, guess what? I still need mending. And so now I'm going to be in search of a fucking swamp biome, which is not exactly one of the most common biomes to find. If there was a way to deterministically find swamp biomes, that would be something different, but that is not the case. And it's beautiful out here. I swear to God it is. So what's to be done? I think that there's something to be said about, like, I think it all comes down to mending, right? Like, the field, like, you need this. Why do we need this? We need this because it's expensive otherwise. Repairing is expensive. I might lose my tool forever. This tool I spent all this fucking time and energy and XP and fucking building contraptions in order to get XP. It's all because I can lose this fucking tool. When it breaks, it's done. Something that my mind's been going back to a lot, and I can't help it, is a mod called Tinker's Construct, one of the most popular mods in Minecraft. And it's so unique. If you haven't played it yourself, I'll kind of explain how it works. So Tinker's Construct breaks down your tools into parts. So in order to make a pickaxe, you need, well, it depends on the version of Tinker's, I guess. But in order to make a pickaxe, you will need a pickaxe head, you will need a rod, a tool rod, and you will also need binding. This binding can be string, it can be leather, it can be, you know, it just needs to be something flexible that you can use to bind the tools of whatever the fuck you got. These days, I don't think they use binding. I don't know what the fuck they use. But the point is that the tool is broken up into parts. And when you assemble the tool, if you get it to its 0 durability, it breaks in quotations. It becomes like damaged and ineffective, basically. It becomes useless. But it's still there. It's still in your inventory. And so what you can do is you can go back to the bench where you constructed your tool in the first place, and you can get the parts that you originally used to build your tool and put them on, and it'll repair it. Like, you can repair your tool. This has no XP cost, just a material cost. If you built your pickaxe head out of copper, you need to go get some copper and slap it on your table, and boom, you repaired your pickaxe. If you built your tool rod out of stone, you can get some cobblestone, you can put it inside your bench, and, well, it's going to be repaired slightly, but it's going to be repaired. It's going to be usable. I'm wondering if that design philosophy was like hitting on something so essential, something so critical that Minecraft simply doesn't have, and whatever the fuck it is that it's hitting on, it's good enough that it's in pretty much every mod pack I can think of. Tinker's feels like an essential mod for anything that's basically tool-based. You don't just make, like... Of course, Tinker's expands way past that, right? Like, it makes armor now. Now it has, like, modular gear. You can upgrade your tools with certain modifiers, like... You can add a 3x3 modifier on your fucking pickaxe, or you can just make a hammer, and hammer mines in 3x3. You can make a fucking axe that chops down an entire tree. You can make a cleaver that gets mob heads when you hit them, when you kill them with a easy way to get wither skulls and stuff. But it does a lot more than just that tool mechanic. But I think that core mechanic of being able to, like, swap your tools and adjust the parts that you're using, like a diamond pickaxe head and a cobalt tool rod and string binding, like, it's strange. There's something about that. Each of these parts has different durability and different, like, mining speeds and attack damage as well. It's all inside of a book you have to read. It's a lot to remember. Even now I don't really remember it all, and I kind of find myself looking back to the book to see what parts, like, the best for my build. The last, like, thing that you should know about Tinker is that each part has, like, its own separate properties. So, like, a wither skeleton bone has the property, something about lifesteal. Anything. If you hit anything with the tool that you make using a wither what do you call this thing? A wither bone. I'm just going to call it wither skeleton bone. So if you hit anything with this wither skeleton bone, it'll steal life back. And that's just a property of the bone itself. That's a property of this particular item. including that in your weapon or tool or whatever the fuck gives it that property. That's strange, right? For copper, it gives you the ability dwarven. I'm sorry, it gives the tool the ability dwarven. Dwarven makes the tool more resilient when you're far underground. It doesn't exactly say how far. I don't remember if it says resilient or more efficient, like it mines faster or it's tougher. But the point is that it's stronger underground. It's better underground. And that's strange. I don't think you could ever do shit like that in like normal Minecraft, but that'd be one hell of a system to include, right? I feel like Tinker Tools would invalidate enchantments. They kind of do, and that's kind of why like I don't know if this is a config thing at all, but you can choose to have Tinker Tools enchantable or not, and most of the time they don't come enchantable by default. Instead, you have to slap on modifiers like add a diamond, it'll increase its durability, add an emerald, it'll increase durability by 50%, add fucking quartz, it'll give it sharpness, and so it does more damage on each swing, and you know, that type of stuff. That's very unique. But rather than all that extra shit, the core of Tinkers is still the ability to break down all tools into a head, a stick, and a binding. Some tools have only 2 parts, some tools have 4 parts, but everything's broken down into parts. All of it. What this is striking at is this feeling of personalization, right? Not only that, but it's free to name your tool in Tinkers. Naming your tool in Tinkers happens as soon as you craft it. You can name it whatever the fuck you want. Like, once again, tool doesn't break, so you can repair it as much as you want. There's no inflating costs. And yet in Minecraft, it's kind of expected that you're going to go down, and you're going to bring up, you're going to bring down a solid 15 pickaxes all at the same time on your mining expedition. Because that's kind of what makes sense, no? I don't know if that's good or bad, though. Was that the wrong turn signal? I thought I hit that. Whatever. If things were infinitely repairable, if you didn't lose your tools upon breaking them, I think that'd be a massive shift in how Minecraft works, not only, but I think it would also fix this issue, this tension we have, where if you don't have mending, you're kind of stupid. Making a tool and not having mending on it means you're basically discarding that tool. You're not going to use that forever, you know it. Why would you do all this work enchanting if you're not going to keep the tool, obviously? And that's a big hit towards extrinsic players. So that's a quick fix. But of course, like, the problem is more complicated than that. And I do wonder sometimes if, like, how far can you swing the extrinsic stick before it's like, okay, brother, it's not that you're an extrinsic player, you're just bored, right? Like, you want something more difficult. And if that's the case, then the real problem should just be that Minecraft's difficulties don't really mean shit, do they? That was loud. If Minecraft's difficulties actually, like, were difficult, I assume that would fix a lot, right? And yet they're not. There's, like, certain behavioral changes, like, zombies can break down doors in hard difficulty. But, I think I'd like to see more. Not just, like, more weird mechanical changes like that, but, like, maybe a completely different progression track. Like, they are called game modes, right? Like, survival's completely useless in terms of being a game mode, but maybe not. Seems a bit fucked. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, let's say that you do get to keep your tools. We still have the moonlord problem, right? We still don't have a place to use those fucking tools. What are you gonna do, fight the wither again? Minecraft doesn't have any challenge anymore. I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's about challenge. Why is it never good enough? Why can Stardew Valley get away with it? Minecraft can't. Stardew Valley has so much extrinsic shit. And Minecraft has so little. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's something I have to think about more, I guess. If I can crack this, like, Stardew Valley problem, I think I'll make a lot of progress on, like, how a good redesign for Minecraft would look. What would need to be done. Until then, I guess I'll just keep chewing on it. It is what it is, or whatever, right? Where you want me to hell? No. You're fucking crazy. Lost your goddamn mind. Alright, I'm fucking off. Sorry for embarrassing you truckers. I know that I'm really fucking good at the game. And you're not. Must be tough. Couldn't be me.